Imagine for a moment that you are never truly alone, even when no one else is around. Something invisible, a presence without a definite shape, face, or voice, has been moving beside you for as long as you can remember. You cannot see it, yet it is aware of your every thought. You cannot hear it, yet it feeds on the quiet energy of your deepest feelings. In some traditions, these invisible guests are called energy parasites. They subtly latch onto our life force and slowly drain our vitality. You may have felt their effect: unexplained fatigue that sleep cannot fix, sudden mood drops for no obvious reason, or fleeting dark thoughts that seem foreign to who you know yourself to be. These experiences can be dismissed as stress, depression, or random brain chemistry, and sometimes they are. But there is also an age-old perspective that sees them as signs of an energetic intrusion. This is not meant to frighten you, but to open your eyes. Awareness is the first step to reclaiming your inner light, a glimpse into ancient wisdom. Long before modern psychology framed human struggles in terms of neurotransmitters or diagnostic labels, sages and mystics spoke of subtle forces at work within and around us. In ancient Egypt, the notions of Ka and Ba pointed to different energetic aspects of the self. The Ka was sometimes described as an energy double, vulnerable to outside influences. If the Ka weakened, illness or loss of direction could follow. Gnostic writings warned about archons, beings said to manipulate thoughts and emotions, thriving on human suffering. In India's Upanishads and yogic lore, there are references to asuras or obstacles that block spiritual growth when one's vital energy, prana, is unbalanced. Western alchemists like Paracelsus and occultists wrote of astral larvae, semi-autonomous thought forms or unresolved emotions that cling to a person's subtle field. Mystical strands in Christianity, Sufism, and other paths also speak of unseen influences, dark currents, or impure spirits that arise when inner wounds remain unhealed. Across cultures, the common thread is this: humans are more than physical bodies. Our energy field can crack when we hold untransformed feelings, and through those cracks, subtle parasitic forms can attach and feed. Those ancient teachings were not fanciful myths, but observations from inner vision. Narratives pointing to experiences that some sensitive individuals still report today. What are energy parasites? Put simply, energy parasites are patterns, thought forms, emotional loops, addictive impulses that take on a semi-independent existence in our subtle field. They arise from unhealed wounds, persistent fears, resentments, or habitual negative beliefs. Once they form, they cling to your energy body, like tiny remoras on a fish, drawing nourishment from the vibration of your untransformed emotions. They do not burst in like cinematic monsters. Rather, they slip in through unnoticed cracks when you remain identified with pain or negativity. Over time, they shape your inner dialogue, replay old stories, and reinforce habits that keep you stuck. You might call them inner gremlins, or simply see them as the part of you that loops in victimhood, guilt, or anxiety. The key idea is that every sustained thought or feeling carries energy, and an unresolved loop can become a gateway for these subtle influences. How they operate. Your body is surrounded by an electromagnetic field, often called the aura or energy body. In healthy states, this field acts as a protective buffer and an antenna, picking up and broadcasting vibrations in tune with your inner state. When you dwell in fear, shame, anger, or persistent self-criticism, that field can crack or weaken, allowing subtle patterns to slip in. These patterns resonate with the same frequency. If you habitually feel unworthy, you tend to attract or sustain influences that feed on that low vibration. Over time, you may notice declining motivation, confusion about your own wishes, a sense of being off, or recurring negative thought loops. I can't. No one understands me. I don't deserve better. These loops are both the source and the nourishment of energetic parasites. They can also arise through addictions, whether to sugar, drama, toxic relationships, or constant screen distraction, because addictive loops create enclosed energy circuits that invite subtle, clingy energies. The more you identify with those loops, the stronger their hold. In effect, these parasites subtly influence your choices, reinforcing the old patterns they feed on. Recognizing the signs. It can be hard to spot these influences because they often masquerade as your own thoughts or feelings. You might simply think, I'm tired, I'm depressed, I'm anxious. I keep repeating the same mistakes. But consider, have you ever felt drained after certain interactions or stuck in the same emotional cycle for years? Do some emotions seem amplified beyond ordinary circumstances, persisting long after the triggering event? When facing deeper healing, meditation, or honest self-reflection, you may experience strange resistance, abrupt fatigue, unexpected sensations, uninvited thoughts interrupting your practice. These could be signs that subtle attachments are resisting being uncovered. Also, examine recurring internal narratives. If a storyline of hurt or resentment plays on loop, it may point to an unresolved frequency that invites subtle forms to linger. Trauma echoes, when unprocessed, remain energetically active, anchoring patterns that feel stuck in time. The first step is noticing these patterns without judgment. Awareness itself weakens their grip. You are not helpless. It might sound daunting. Invisible energies feeding on your life force. Yet the good news is that these patterns are not invincible. They depend on being sustained by your ongoing identification with unhealed feelings. Awareness is the light that dispels their power. When you observe a negative thought or painful emotion without automatically feeding it, the energy parasite behind it loses its nourishment. In many traditions, this inner witnessing is called vigilance, watching the mind and heart without being carried away. Spiritual hygiene is as essential as washing your body. You learn to sweep away energies that don't belong. There is no need to fear that you must fight external demons. Rather, the battlefield is your own consciousness. By reclaiming your attention and shifting how you relate to thoughts and feelings, you close the cracks these subtle patterns use to enter. Core practices for reclaiming your energy. Below are a few main practices, simple yet profound, that anyone can integrate into daily life. They are drawn from long-standing traditions, but presented in straightforward terms. Rather than many fragmented tips, focus on these few anchors. Each practice helps strengthen your inner shield and clear old patterns, turning you from a host into a guardian of your own energy. 1. Conscious silence. Carve out daily moments of true silence. No music, no spoken guidance, no inner commentary. Sit quietly for 10 minutes, or longer if you can. Let the mind rest without chasing thoughts. In that silence, habitual mental loops lose their grip because they cannot operate in a non-reactive space. Your inner observer grows. Subtle attachments begin to surface simply by being witnessed. Over time, this practice resets your energy field and deepens your connection with your own presence. 2. Deep, embodied breathing. Many energetic drains thrive when you are disconnected or rushed. Practice belly breathing several times a day. Place one hand on your navel, the other on your heart. Breathe slowly into your abdomen, filling it fully, then exhale completely. This reconnects you with the body's vital energy, cutting cords of distraction. When you breathe consciously, you ground yourself, making it harder for subtle patterns to latch on unnoticed. Even a few breaths can shift your vibration. 3. Mindful inner observation. Develop a habit of noticing your thoughts and feelings without identifying with them. When a self-critical thought arises, observe it. There's judgment. When sadness surfaces, notice the bodily sensation and the story behind it. This practice isn't about suppressing experiences, but about seeing them clearly. As you watch without reacting, the energy behind old patterns dissipates. Over time, you begin to recognize which thoughts are just echoes of past wounds and choose not to feed them. 4. Healthy boundaries and energetic protection. Notice people or situations that consistently drain you. Some may be unaware themselves, carrying their own unhealed patterns. You can set energetic boundaries through simple visualizations. Imagine wrapping yourself in a field of light that lets in only what aligns with your well-being. If you must interact with draining individuals, visualize sending back to them their own energy, taking only what belongs to you. This is not selfish. It is wisdom. It preserves your clarity and prevents you from carrying burdens that aren't yours. 5. Purification rituals adapted to daily life. Many traditions use baths, herbal cleanses, chants, or fires to clear subtle energies. You can adapt these ideas practically. Take a weekly bath with sea salt or herbs, e.g., rosemary or lavender, imagining old energy washing away. Use sound, a simple tone or mantra, to clear your space. Or light a candle with an intention to release what no longer serves you. These acts are not about magical props, but about using intention to shift your vibration and signal to your psyche that you are committed to clearing old patterns. 6. Nourishing body and energy. Together more. Pay attention to what you eat and how you relate to your meals. Choose fresh, whole foods that feel alive and nourishing. Before eating, take a moment of gratitude. Bless the meal and recognize its life-giving energy. This simple practice turns eating into a sacred act, fueling not only your physical body, but your subtle field. Avoid excessive processed foods or habits, excess sugar, stimulants, that can weaken your energy and open cracks in your field. Remember, what feeds the body also feeds the subtle layers. 7. Daily intention and self-commitment. Each morning or before bed, set an intention. Today, I keep watch over my inner world. Or at night, I release what no longer serves me. I remain centered in light. Brief but consistent declarations strengthen your resolve. Your energy field responds to your focus. Over time, this steady practice transforms how automatically you react to old triggers. Understanding resistance. When you begin these practices, you may encounter unexpected resistance, restlessness in meditation, sudden tiredness, intrusive thoughts, or a desire to abandon the effort. These can indicate that subtle attachments are reacting to being uncovered. Rather than discouraging you, see them as signs that something was there. Acknowledge the discomfort, breathe through it, and gently return to your practice. Over time, these resistances fade, revealing more clarity and lightness. The role of forgiveness and compassion. Much of what sustains energetic parasites is unresolved guilt, shame, or resentment toward others or yourself. Cultivating forgiveness is not condoning past harm, but freeing yourself from carrying its vibration. Compassion for your own struggles also matters. Harsh self-judgment fuels the very patterns you want to release. When you meet yourself with kindness, you weaken the hold of self-critical loops. This compassionate stance extends outward. Forgiving others, even silently, can dissolve energetic knots that keep subtle influences anchored, raising your vibration beyond survival. Every strong, ongoing emotion tunes you to certain realities in subtle realms. Hatred or fear can shift you toward denser states. Love, gratitude, and joy open you to lighter vibrations. While it is natural to experience varied feelings, dwelling chronically in lower states invites draining influences. Cultivate practices that uplift, simple joys, creative expression, nature time, moments of connection that resonate with warmth. These naturally strengthen your field, making it inhospitable to parasitic patterns. Over time, you find yourself more resilient, less reactive, and more aligned with your true essence. Healing wounds, breaking cycles, unresolved traumas, and inherited family patterns can leave energetic impressions that outlast the original event. When you consciously work to heal these wounds, through therapy, somatic work, inner child practices, or other supportive methods, you release the anchor that subtle forms cling to. Be patient. Deep healing often unfolds over time. Notice repeating themes in your life. They point to areas needing attention. As you bring light to these layers, energy parasites lose their foothold. You move from repeating old loops to creating new possibilities. Cultivating presence as a daily habit. Presence means staying connected to the here and now, rather than lost in past regrets or future worries. Simple acts. Pausing to feel your breath. Noticing sensations as you walk. Fully engaging in small tasks. Anchor you in presence. In these moments, subtle drains cannot operate because they depend on unconscious identification with old patterns. Presence is your natural defense. Over time, living with this continuous awareness becomes second nature, and you no longer need elaborate rituals to keep your field clear. Your energy as sacred. Imagine your energy field as an ancient castle built from your life experiences, memories, choices, and intentions. At its core lies your divine spark, the light that never goes out. But that castle has doors and windows. Neglect, fear, or ignorance can leave them open. Energetic parasites don't need physical locks. They depend on your unawareness. By stepping into conscious stewardship, watching thoughts, caring for your body, setting clear intentions, you close those openings. You become the guardian of your inner temple. This is not about paranoia or fear of the world. It's about honoring how precious your energy is. Everything valuable deserves care and respect, transforming from prey to guardian. As awareness grows, an alchemical shift occurs. You move from being prey to subtle influences to becoming the guardian of your own field. You realize you have always had the power to choose which thoughts and feelings to feed, which relationships to maintain or transform, and how to nourish your body and mind. You no longer feel at the mercy of invisible forces because you understand their nature and know how to reclaim your light. This shift is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. Each moment offers a choice to stay awake or drift back into old patterns. 1. Start small, stay consistent. Begin with just a few minutes of silence and breathing each day. Notice what arises without pushing anything away. Over days and weeks, expand these moments as comfort grows. 2. Observe, don't judge. When old patterns surface, treat them like passing clouds. Label them, here's fear, here's self-doubt, and let them drift rather than chasing or suppressing them. 3. Nourish with gratitude. Choose at least one meal daily to eat mindfully, expressing gratitude for the life force it provides. Feel how this simple act uplifts your energy. 4. Set boundaries. Gently notice relationships or habits that feel draining. You may gradually limit exposure or add protective visualizations when you must engage. 5. Cultivate uplifting activities. Include small joys, listening to music that lifts you, spending moments in nature, creative play, to anchor you in lighter vibrations. 6. Reflect daily. Before sleeping, ask, where did I notice my awareness today? Where did I drift? This reflection strengthens your capacity to choose presence. These steps are not a rigid to-do list, but invitations to bring your attention inward and act from clarity. Over time, they become woven into your life as natural expressions of self-care and spiritual hygiene. 5. Cultivate uplifting activities. Include small joys, listening to music that lifts you, spending moments in nature, creative play, to anchor you in lighter vibrations. 6. Reflect daily. Before sleeping, ask, where did I notice my awareness today? Where did I drift? This reflection strengthens your capacity to choose presence. These steps are not a rigid to-do list, but invitations to bring your attention inward and act from clarity. Over time, they become woven into your life as natural expressions of self-care and spiritual hygiene. Embracing ongoing awakening. Awakening is not a destination, but a journey, a daily commitment to presence, self-honesty, and compassionate care of your own energy. There will be times when old patterns reappear. That is natural. Each time you notice them, you have the chance to bring fresh awareness and gently release what no longer serves. As you tend to your inner landscape, your vitality deepens, your clarity sharpens, and you align more with your true nature. The invisible companions that once fed on unresolved wounds lose their home and fade away in the light you shine. If this resonates, take a moment now. Pause wherever you are. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Ask within, what habits or old thoughts am I feeding that keep me small? How can I choose presence instead? Feel the power of your attention. Recognize that you are never helpless. You are the central sun of your own energy field. When you stand in that truth, subtle drains cannot hold you. Share this understanding with others who might benefit, and subscribe to voices that support inner growth. Above all, treat your energy as the most precious resource you have. Each act of awareness, each choice to transform a thought, is a declaration. Here, I am in charge. Living as a guardian of your inner temple is not lofty or remote. It's an everyday practice of love for your own soul.